Let's have a look at Synthetix again. And let's look at a few data points such as the liquid supply curve. How is supply developing over the market? How is the relative valuation to the US dollar, to Bitcoin, to Ethereum developing? And the reason why we want to look at this is because in the last 24 hours, Synthetix was actually one of the best performing assets. 9% up, the second best asset within the top 100 in terms of market cap. SNX is currently at $2.27. It's got a market cap of 540 million and is thus at market rank 66. It's the 66th largest cryptocurrency. Now, unfortunately, SNX hasn't done too well since the beginning of last year. And we just take the middle point here of this downward trend channel to today, where we are also again roughly in the middle. We have lost 87% in terms of US dollars. Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum went down as well, but that kind of a drop you definitely don't want to just endure, right? You want to somehow time the market and at least figure out what are the reasons behind all of this. Now, I think the main reason behind this is the liquid supply change. So when we look at the source of that supply, we've got staking rewards that were pretty aggressive throughout 2019, 2020, and even partially in 2021. Now, when we look at the current point in this curve, right? This curve is extrapolated into the future, and we look at October of 2020. This is where we are currently at, right? So the slope of this liquid supply curve is declining, meaning there isn't as much new SNX hitting the market as in the past. So when in the past there was a lot of new tokens that came to stakers that then potentially sold off the token, that kind of an effect is now very much muted. Now, how steep is the slope still? How high is the current token inflation? You can find this here on Messari.io under the metrics tab. The current inflation rate is 2.8%, which is really not a lot for an altcoin. Most altcoins have even double-digit inflation rates, Avalanche even 20%. 2.8% isn't too bad, especially given that most of these contributions have already happened and people might just simply extrapolate the current trend and think SNX will always go down versus the US dollar. But when there's simply not so much new supply hitting the market, maybe the sell pressure will also go down enough to stabilize the price. Let's look at SNX versus Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin price. And here, of course, the relative performance isn't that great either, minus 70% or so. Just take a middle point here of this volatility to the current price. But you can also see that maybe since beginning of the year, we are more or less going sideways versus Bitcoin. Versus the US dollar, of course, we're still going down, but at least it's not underperforming Bitcoin anymore. When we look at the relative performance to Ethereum, we even see a little bit of an outperformance, depending on how you look at this, right? So this could very much be a potential turnaround. If there's no new supply, where we basically see a doubling within 2 years of the liquid supply, right? Or even when we look here at the beginning, 50 million to 230 million, right? That's almost 5 times the supply. When this is now stopping, then any kind of technical advances for Synthetix that could generate more demand are likely also going to have an impact on the price. So you don't have to stake anymore. You can simply just try to ride those waves and speculate on this bottom to have ultimately formed. Now, the US dollar price, of course, is very much impacted by what all of crypto is doing. There is quite a bit of correlation across different asset classes. We very often see tops at the same time, right? For example, here, May of 2021, a top in Ethereum. May of 2021 was also at least a local top for Synthetix. And the same then can be said for the bottoms, right? Over here was a bottom on the 21st of July of last year. The same is true here, at least a local bottom for SNX. So there is correlation, but in the end, we want to look at relative performance. We want to buy something that at least in relative terms outperforms. And for that, at least SNX now has a chance. It was way harder when so much new supply hits the market, when all of those tokens hit the market and then get potentially sold off. Since this has now stopped, this gives Synthetix some kind of a chance. So this is just one of many data points, right? Do your own research as well. For example, one thing you might want to do is you might want to go to Dune dune.com, and then you can search for Synthetix, right, with an X at the end. You press enter and you find different dashboards. For example, this one over here with a lot of additional data, how much revenue is the protocol generating, etc. So feel free to also have a look at this, because probably when revenue generation goes up, that's also when demand for the token might go up, and thus the price of SNX might adjust accordingly, right? So dune.com is your source. A lot of additional interesting info. If you're looking for a more in-depth analysis of SNX or any other altcoin for that matter, feel free to also join the premium membership. There's a private chat where you can ask me any questions, and where I then also create exclusive altcoin analyses for the members. It's currently $75 US per month. There's more information in this video. Hope to see you there, and thanks for watching this one. Bye.